All right, guys, let's get started. It's time to do a market recap. Today is Monday, the beginning of a new week. And of course, we're going to take a look at the markets first. And I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. I'm going to look at the chart of Bitcoin and Ethereum very briefly to establish what is most likely going to happen over the course of this week and the coming weeks. Actually, I'm going to look at the longer term as well, because with Bitcoin, right now, we are possibly at the beginning of another major bull rally. And I'm going to show you why I'm saying that when I look at the weekly chart. But before anything else, a quick reminder of my current giveaway. This is Tangem Wallet. I did a review in the previous episode and I announced a giveaway. It looks just like a credit card, right? It's perfect. It's so convenient. There is no seed phrase. It is absolutely the best thing. Right now, I'm using it on a daily basis and I swapped all of my mobile wallets like Trust Wallet. I was using Jax and I was using Coinomi as well. And all of this on my mobile, because that was kind of quick way to move my coins from exchanges and everything, so that I don't really keep them on exchanges for too long. Well, now I can just carry this in my wallet and all I need to do is tap it to my phone, and this is how I can approve transactions and everything. Just watch my review. So you still have 2 more days, today and tomorrow, to enter this giveaway. I will pick 2 winners for this giveaway. Make sure that you head over to Twitter, find this tweet which you're seeing here on the screen. You can scan the QR code as well. You can retweet that and tag 3 friends. Make sure that you are following me and Tangem as well. And just comment here on this video and on the review video of the Tangem wallet, which I posted in the previous episode. Just leave a comment there that you have already retweeted and everything, so that I can pick 2 winners. One will be from Twitter. The other winner will be here from the comments. So make sure that you leave comments. You can actually leave more than 1 comment for your chance to win one of 2 prizes. It will be this wallet, brand new wallet, and you will receive it directly from Tangem. There will be no third party involved, and I will be picking the winner by random. So it will be purely by random. It is a matter of luck. So make sure that you leave comments. You still have today and tomorrow. On Wednesday, actually at first I said on Tuesday, but you know what, I will do it on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I will pick the 2 winners and I will announce them in my Wednesday episode. So make sure to catch this episode as well. Okay, well, first, Bitcoin is pretty much at the same level over the weekend. Over the weekend, actually, we managed to go up a little bit. And, you know, the good old saying, never trust a weekend pump. Well, it turns out that this was not just a pump. It was a decent recovery from the drop that we made prior to that. So today, not much of a change since yesterday, but over the weekend, we saw quite a few coins go up significantly. Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB even. BNB is still taking a beating though. I mean, today, 1.54% down, as the rest of the market is pretty much sitting still at the same prices as yesterday. So unfortunately, this court case against Binance, and now there's other countries, not just the US Securities Exchange Commission, but you know, other countries are also coming hard on Binance. So I don't really feel that BNB is going to recover that quickly. It's definitely going to recover at some point. I don't think that this is the end of BNB. This token is being used a lot by, you know, all of the users of Binance Exchange, and it is quite a big exchange despite all the hurdles right now with America. Binance US is only one part of Binance Exchange. I mean, the international exchange is still the biggest in terms of volumes and liquidity and everything. Cardano, another token that was mentioned in the court case of SEC, is also still suffering, 2% down since yesterday. And then we have Matic. Matic is down 1.68% since yesterday. So these are the problematic tokens really, and we'll see how it goes with this court case. I personally feel that sooner or later people are going to get over it, because this right now, this whole sell-off that happened, that was panic selling. This is not going to continue. And in fact, I already feel that we've seen the bottom of this correction in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And of course, these are the 2 coins that are determining the main moves of the whole crypto market. You know, when Bitcoin and Ethereum, but mainly Bitcoin, is going up, then the whole market is profiting from it. Of course, in the short term, some altcoins are, you know, not being able to catch up, but sooner or later they do. If Bitcoin is dropping and is dropping significantly, you know, by 5, 6, 10, 15%, the whole market is following that. This is why we always keep an eye on Bitcoin. Even if you're just trading altcoins, you have to keep an eye on Bitcoin. This is why I mostly do technical analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and every now and then I do technical analysis on some of the altcoins. But really, we have to watch what Bitcoin is doing right now, because if Bitcoin is opening the door to another major rally, which is what I'm expecting, then you're going to see green across the board. All of the altcoins are also going to be in the green. So this is why I'm going to analyze Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. Let's get started with the analysis. All right, well, let's start first with the daily, then we're going to go into the higher time frames. The higher time frames are actually looking more bullish, and I remain bullish because of that. I'm going to show you what I mean. But first, let's take a look at the daily. So we are respecting our downtrend so far. We still have not managed to break and change this trend line. So for the time being, we're still going down. But we actually held very well this support here. We had the 34 weekly and the 21 weekly EMA that were acting as support lines. We broke the 21 weekly, but we are holding the 34. Very briefly, we broke below it. And at the time, actually, the 34 weekly was down here. It's moved now, and I have moved it as well. So we are slightly higher. This is just so that I can follow if we are to drop again, which is our support, and the support line, the 34 weekly is sitting here right now. And you also see this yellow line here, this resistance line. This is what I drew in my previous analysis, and I said that here most likely we are going to find a lot of selling pressure and possibly a rejection from this level. So I am really watching this level very closely right now, because if we manage to go above this line and stay above this line, then we are opening the door to challenging this trend line and possibly even breaking above this trend line. So this is an important one. We also have to pay attention to the stochastic RSI. So the daily stochastic is actually starting to look bearish. We see that the blue moving average is starting to curve now. So very soon I'm expecting that this sort of scenario is going to occur, and this is a bearish cross here between the two moving averages. This is indicating that throughout this week, it's very likely that we're going to see another drop in the price. So a rejection from this resistance is actually quite likely to happen. And if we see a drop from here, again, we're going to come to the 21 and the 34 weekly moving averages. These are right now acting as our support lines. On the daily, we don't really have any moving averages that are acting as a strong support. We are basically finding support at the 9th moving average. This is in the last 3 days. The 9th moving average has been acting as a support, but this is not a strong support. This is a very temporary short-term support. The stronger support, as we go on the weekly, in a moment you're going to see the 21 and the 34 weekly moving averages. These are the ones that I count as a much stronger and more important support. Now, the 50th moving average, we're still below it. This is not good. This is also acting as a resistance. So the first resistance is 26,400. Then we have a second resistance at 26,700. And right now, the 50th moving average is sitting at 26,800. But over the next few days, this moving average, as you see, is going downwards. So it will coincide with the 26,600 resistance that I've drawn here. It's very likely that over the next few days we are going to actually go downwards and challenge our support. Most likely it will hold us, because this is a typical retest of support, after which I'm expecting a push on the upside again and yet another challenge of the resistance, the two resistance lines. Once we clear the resistance, the next target will of course be the trend line, the downwards trend line that we are currently following. We have to break above this in order to confirm my bullish outlook for the longer term. And for the longer term, we have to look at the weekly. By the way, before we move on to the weekly time frame, a big shout out to BTSE for sponsoring today's episode. This is an innovative platform that is shaking things up in the crypto space right now. For the past 5 years, BTSE has been dominating the business to business enterprise solutions, but now they've set their sights on becoming one of the top 5 retail exchanges. Let me tell you some of the advantages of this exchange. It is the only all-in-one multi-currency order book where you can trade virtually any pair They were also the first crypto futures exchange to launch multi-asset collateral and settlement, and the first exchange to integrate Web3 wallet support, starting with MetaMask and Phantom. And for everyday crypto traders out there, BTSE has a lot to offer. They have deep liquidity on Bitcoin and Ethereum perpetual futures. Plus, you can start trading from just one USDT with no KYC required. There is a very user-friendly trading interface with advanced charting tools, making it a breeze to navigate. And what's even cooler, they're offering a welcome bonus of 10,000 BTSE prize pool for new signups. Just register, trade, and get a share from the $10,000 in BTSE tokens. This is their native token. BTSE also makes funding your account very easy with low fees for fiat deposits and withdrawals, and they've even introduced a BTSE card partnered with MasterCard to further facilitate your crypto to fiat transactions. If you're interested in earning from your assets, then BTSE offers high APYs of up to 9% for USD Tether and other stablecoins. That's higher than most exchanges, and their staking feature gives you up to 31% APY for token staking. These are the staking plans currently on offer. Some of these are with quite attractive returns, as you can see, so pay attention if you're holding any of these tokens. That's a great way to grow your portfolio. What's more, the referral program offers a 35% referral rate for new referrals, regardless of your VIP status. It's a great way to earn while you help your friends to join the crypto world. Also, for all of you who are advanced traders, with features like sub-accounts for more flexible management of funds and an all-in-one order book offering deep and consistent liquidity across multiple spot trading offers, this exchange really offers everything you need. But of course, BTSE is not just about advanced trading features. They also offer 24/7 customer support via live chat, email, and phone. Unlike many other online platforms, they're very responsive to all kinds of queries, so you won't be left in the dark about your questions. Now, I hope that this glimpse into BTSE has you as excited as I am. Definitely check it out. Now, on to the weekly chart of Bitcoin. So the weekly is actually looking far more bullish than the daily. As you can see here, we have the stochastic RSI already gone in the oversold region, indicating that a bounce on the upside is imminent. But of course, being the weekly, imminent doesn't mean today or tomorrow. It means perhaps by the end of this week, maybe even next week. So these moving averages here are moving far more slowly than the daily, of course. The good news is that we are holding this support line. This is our longer term support line. We have the trend line, the resistance in the shorter term that we are also following. So this is our short term bear trend here, this correction that most likely we have already completed. And I'm saying that because, as I see, we managed to hold the support. And if we were to break this trend line, the longer term support trend line, then we would be looking into far more bearish outlook here and, bearish scenario where for the next few months we would be going downwards. However, we managed to hold this support and we bounced right off from that line. Literally touched this line and bounced on the upside. We broke the 34 weekly very briefly with just a week of a candle, so that was good news for us. It was just a test and it was holding, so this support was holding. Also, we see that the 50th and the 21 weekly moving averages are coinciding right now, forming a stronger support, and we are respecting this support. This week we are already opening above these moving averages, all of these moving averages, which is good news for us. If we manage to hold this week above these moving averages, we are really opening the door now to challenge this trend line here, the resistance trend line. And if we manage to break above this resistance trend line, then we are really opening the door to challenge previous high of the 30,000 and even the 31,000. We have these previous highs here from April that we have to challenge first. If we manage to take out these highs, then my next target is the 40K. Because 40K is also a psychological resistance. But not only that, let's take a look at the Fibonacci levels. So from the previous high to the most recent low, and what we can see is that 40,000 is really our ultimate challenge here. Before that, we have yet another target, which is sitting at 34,000. And of course, the previous high, which I already mentioned. So these are the targets on the way up if we are to turn this trend. And another thing that is interesting here is that as we came down and we touched the support line here, not only the trend line, the diagonal trend line that we have formed, but also this support here is our highs from last August. So last year, August, we were here at these highs and we were challenging them, and this was a resistance at the time. We failed. Then we challenged it again in February this year and we failed again. After we finally managed to break above this resistance in March this year, we established this line as a support. And as you can see, during this drop, during this correction, we managed to come perfectly to that support line here, and we bounced up from there. So this is actually what makes me feel that we have actually formed a bottom here. And we are still waiting for the confirmation of this bottom, but if we drop down and we only touch this trend line and we don't even come to this bottom, which is what I'm expecting, this will be our perfect confirmation that we have bottomed during this drop here, during this correction, that we have completed this correction, and now we are starting yet another bull rally towards my higher target prices. So the crucial price level that I'm waiting for us to challenge and break above right now is this one here at 27,200, 27,400. It's around this level here, because this is where right now this week our trend line, our downwards resistance trend line is sitting. So if we manage to take out this level, 27,200, this will confirm my bullish outlook here. Now, of course, I have to consider the possibility that all of this here is wrong, and that we are actually not going upwards. We are not challenging any of these levels yet, but instead we are about to drop below this trend line here, break down, and start going downwards. If this is to happen, then what are the targets? What could be the next target? Well, of course, the first one is that 25,000, which is, as I said, currently a strong support. We just confirmed this support, but yeah, if we come again to challenge this support, you know, the more times we challenge a support, the more likely it is that we break it. So if we come to challenge this support and it doesn't hold us and it breaks, then we could look into a few support lines on the downside. Let's see which are they. This is the shorter term here. And of course, we have the 0.786 Fibonacci level, 24,000. This is another support for us. Below that, we have the 22,000, which was a previous support that we established. If we are to break even that, then it's going to be bad news. It would mean that we're continuing the bear trend full on, continuing the bear trend, going even to lower support lines as 16,000 here, 16,800 is another lower support for us. However, to me, this looks like the least likely scenario. Far more likely for me is that we break above the resistance, this resistance line here, and we start another bull rally towards the 30,000 and the 40,000 eventually. And I personally feel that this is the most likely scenario, or at least the more likely scenario, because let's take a quick look here in the longer time frame. And I'm going to take a look at the really bigger picture here. So starting all the way back from 2016, Elliot Waves, we had an impulsive wave 1, this is 2017, then we had a correction or a bear market wave 2, then we had another impulsive wave on the upside, which was wave 3 here, and then we completed ABC correction, which is forming our wave 4. And now we are starting our wave 5, which is going to take us to at least 70, perhaps even 100,000. This is pretty much what I'm looking at. This is the next wave, but of course this is going to be this is long term. So we're talking perhaps next year, not even this year. This is really a long-term outlook here that I'm drawing you. This is why I'm talking about a bullish outlook in the longer term. I personally feel that we have already completed our wave 4, which was our corrective wave, and this bear market. And as you see, I didn't even count our high in 2021 because this was part of our ABC correction that was following our impulse wave 3. Some would argue that wave 3 was completed at our high here, but I personally feel that the wave 3 completed here. This is also according to the Pi indicator, the Bitcoin Pi indicator. I have shared that with you already. The Pi indicator, actually, let me turn it on. And let me go on the daily for that, because it is actually working on the daily chart. If you look on the daily, the pi indicator, the two lines actually crossed here. This is the cross that was indicating that we have topped. And this is why I'm counting this top here as our top of wave 3 rather than this one, because from this pi indicator is just confirming that this was our high, this was our completion of the wave 3, after which we actually had an ABC correction, which looked like this. So this is why in the shorter term this was an ABC correction. In the longer term this was clearly just a wave 4 of a bigger impulse Elliot waves. So wave 5, I believe that we are already in our wave 5, in the very early stages of wave 5. Of course there will be many corrections during this wave 5. It's not going to be just a steady rally on the upside. So this here was part of these corrections. This was one of these corrections, our first correction in our next impulsive wave. But of course, again, this is in the very long term. And if this analysis is wrong, we have to break below this trend line here before the 25,000. We also have to break below. We have yet another support here at mid 22,000. We have to break below this as well. And that will confirm that we are continuing the downtrend and that we have not completed our wave 4, and that my analysis here, my Elliott waves, are wrong. But this is the least likely scenario. The more likely scenario is the one that gives me my bullish outlook. So this is what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Alright, well, the daily chart on Ethereum is also looking good. As you see, we made a V-shaped recovery here. We dropped all the way to the 200 daily moving average, which is acting as a support, and we bounced up from there, which is good news for us. It opens the door to further bullish price action. It also indicated that most likely we have bottomed here during this corrective wave, and this is confirmed not only by the 200 daily moving average, but also it is a support that we established all the way back in March. So this is our support from March. It was holding us, and it basically just confirms that this here was a correction rather than a full-on bear trend, right? And also another thing, if we take a look at the Fibonacci levels from the previous low to the latest high, you can see that this level here coincides perfectly with the golden Fibonacci pocket, right? So these are now 3 confirmations that this is most likely our bottom here during this correction. And this is giving me a bullish outlook. Now you can see that we have entered here one of the levels that I have marked, and this is a level where I'm expecting to see a lot of selling pressure. It's no wonder that now for 3 days we are consolidating around this level. I'm expecting that we can even drop a little bit and retest, the support level here. This is the next one that I've marked. We don't have to come all the way down to the support line, which is sitting at 1663, but just entering this whole gray area that I have marked. It's actually light green, not gray, but you know what I mean. We can come here, just enter this area, confirm this as a support area, and bounce on the upside again. But ultimately, what I really want to see us do is to break, let me just make this yellow, to break above this resistance here that we only touched and we got rejected. This is the resistance that we are challenging, and we need to break above this resistance. Then the next one is sitting at 1844. So 1776, 1848 or 1844, these are the 2 levels that we have to take out, and that will open the door for us to have another strong bull rally that will see us go all the way up to the previous highs of 2100. And this will happen with the help of Bitcoin as well. So if Bitcoin is to follow the path that I'm expecting for it, then we are going to see the same with Ethereum, coming out, taking these resistance levels, and after that challenging the previous high of 2100 that we established back in April. In order for this to happen, the main level, the most important one on the way down, if we are to challenge these supports again, this is the one. The 1620, so 1620. If this level holds us at any further challenges in the future, if we are to drop and start targeting the lower support levels, 1620 has to hold us for this scenario to be validated. If we give up this level, if this level doesn't hold us, then we're going to look at a continuation of the bear market for the rest of the year and a drop to the 1400. This is the lower support. If the 1600 is not holding us, we have a free fall all the way to the 1400. And this is not going to happen very quickly. It's going to take months for this to happen. So pretty much for the rest of the year, we are going to be looking at a bearish downwards trend here on Ethereum, all the way down to 1400, and even below it's possible. But if this is to happen, we are going to analyze the charts and we're going to talk about this later, and lower price targets and everything. For the time being though, holding this support was very important for us, and I believe that this is opening the door for a bull rally on the upside rather than a continuation of the bear trend. And this is something that I'm expecting to see. Of course, not necessarily like that. It's not going to be just a clean line like that, but you get what I'm saying. Coming here, getting rejected from the resistance the first time, coming to test support, then managing to break resistance, retesting it as a support, confirming support, and if that is to happen, then opening the door for a challenge of the previous high from April, which was at 2100. Alright guys, well this is everything for today's episode. I hope this technical analysis is helping you make the right decisions, whether you're holding or you're swing trading or you're position trading. I'm not really doing day trading. This is why I'm not really going into the shorter time frames like the 15-minute or the 1-minute or any of those, because this is content that by the time I post it will already be irrelevant. So you don't really see day trading type of analysis from me. You see the more longer term, because this for me is the more important one. This is the bigger picture. I'm looking at bigger moves to make bigger gains, and I'm trading once or twice a week. I don't really do day trading, and hopefully this is helping you as well, because I personally feel that day trading is a lot of work. You're stuck in front of the charts the whole time for small margins of 1-2% at a time. You can actually do more with leverage trading, and this is why sometimes I talk about options and futures and all of those. But if you're just doing spot trading, then it makes more sense to be doing position and swing trading sometimes rather than doing day trading. Well, hopefully this is helping you guys. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below, where I drop the links to all of the crypto services that I'm using and that I recommend to you. And also, while you're here, just pick another one of my videos, and I'm gonna see you there.